Hello humans of the universe, heroes, villains, and everything in between. I'm Love Pokemon, and today I'm going to be answering the question, should you have a physical movie collection? I'm sure that everyone has at least one or two Blu-rays on their own, whether it's from your youth or as an adult. So why would I ask this question? Well, in this modern day, many people have a fairly big digital movie collection that they can watch anywhere on the road, on their phone, assuming they downloaded it. But with a physical collection, you need a DVD or Blu-ray player. But then again, you can put your whole physical movie collection on digital with something like DVD Fab. But you still need a laptop, because it would be pretty annoying to get those movies on your phone unless you had a media server like Plex or Jellyfish. Let's have a history lesson on home entertainment. It all started with VHS in 1906. Companies were thinking of the idea of home movie watching, and years later, in 1912, Pathé, now the reason why we're talking about him is because Edison failed and Pathé succeeded. Most people ended up renting movies because making release prints is expensive, and so this led to the future: Blockbuster, Netflix, cable, and this all eventually led to streaming, with Netflix paving the way. So what happened to Pathé? They lasted for a while, but then disappeared at the time of World War I, which ended in 1918. This is very far away from the creation of Netflix or even Blockbuster, rest in peace. In 1924, Kodak invented 16mm film, which became popular for home use, and then later developed 8mm film. After that point, the public could purchase a film project from one of those film formats and rent or buy home use prints of some cartoons, short comedies, and brief highlights reels editing from future films. Mainly like, I guess, a trailer is what you would probably condense that down to. All this information is from Wikipedia. Check it out for yourself if you're interested. The first company to duplicate and distribute feature films from major film studios on home video was Magnetic Video. This was in 1968. Now we're getting closer to Blockbuster. So next we have people who wanted to own films. Back in the day, it was something only big movie enthusiasts did. The natural consensus was that you rented a movie, then that's it. If you were an enthusiast, you had to pay hundreds of dollars. Then we hit the early 2000s. DVD. As DVD came out, VHS saw a slow decline in popularity as DVD became the new big thing. We can talk about Laserdiscs, but I'm not going to mention that here. I just wanted to briefly say Laserdiscs because they're important-ish. So here are the upsides of DVD. It had less chance of breaking over time because it didn't have a magnetic tape inside that needed to be pulled out and wrapped again. Instead, you just do it and you're done. Wow! Besides, it looked better. Then came Blu-ray in June of 2006. That looked even better, but it cost more. Like all innovations, the better it is, the more it's gonna cost. So now, here we are with 4K, which is practically useless to the human eye when it comes to movies. Movies are usually shot at 30 frames per second or 24 frames per second and only shot in 2K resolution, very similar to Blu-ray. So the difference isn't really noticeable to the human eye. Unless you put them side by side, there's some color differences, but you can't see it at all, and at barely higher sharpness. This is odd because the switch from Blu-ray to DVD was huge. It was 6 times better, and we could see it. But you just can't see 4K. Why don't movies shoot in 4K? It's mainly because of CGI. It takes hours to render a single frame in big CGI movies in 2K, imagine in 4K. Oh, and thanks to Nikki Tugard, I probably didn't say that right, Nikki Tugard Movie Talk for the video about 4K. I'll put it in a card and hopefully down in the description. So just don't buy 4K.
Sugar?
I guess. I don't own a 4K player or a 4K TV, so maybe I'm missing out. My biggest argument for physical is you can never lose your film collection. Anything can go wrong with digital, but physical is forever. But the argument for digital is that it's the future, and it's more universal. I mean, for free you can watch a bunch of movies in something like Plex or Tubi for the small price of ads. Rather have this for free than pay for Netflix with ads, HBO with ads, and or Hulu. So this gives you a wider library that will last longer. Think of other platforms that have come and gone, like VHS. Is DVD next? I also want to know how many people actually buy 4K movies, because I just can't justify putting down an extra $10 to $20 for slightly better quality that my eye can't even see. So should you still have a physical collection? Honestly, it's up to personal preference. I like having a collection because I know that if I stop paying for something or it's on a service that I don't have, I won't have to spend $1 million a month just to watch Easy A that has moved for the millionth time, or La La Land, because I own them. But you also need to think of the price. The most expensive streaming service that you probably use is Hulu with no ads plus live TV, $90 a month. Well, technically $83, but you get my point. It gives you thousands of options. But let's be honest, you're probably just gonna watch the same shows anyway. But a movie, cheap bargain bin, on DVD is like $5. That means that instead of thousands of pics, you get like 16. And then there's no high quality viewing or other random stuff that streaming services have. Imagine paying for Prime Video and then finding out there are 50 add-ons and new movies aren't free. Prime Video is probably the most expensive one if you buy all these add-ons, because they have all the channels like Stars and things like that. And you know, you have to pay for the new movies instead of waiting a little longer for them to come on Disney Plus or HBO Max. I like having a physical collection. The simplicity of popping in a disc and pushing play. No need for cable, finding nothing to watch so you just watch Friends for the millionth time. I can just watch Friends physically and pick whatever I want, like on a streaming service, but I also get the gag reel. An extra scene and interviews. Oh, you can just watch those on YouTube. Well, can you watch YouTube on your PSP? Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh, you can? Well, can you solve a Rubik's Cube? Ha! Got 'em! I would say that digital has taken over a lot of people's lives, but I still believe that they have at least a few DVDs or Blu-rays every now and then. When they can't find the movie, probably just in their PlayStation. But I don't think physical is dead, since store shelves are full of them. They're still going strong, even if it's just for collection purposes or viewing purposes. So at the end of the day, should you have a physical movie collection? Well, if your main concern is pricing, maybe not, because the streaming service gives you thousands of pics for not as much as a few Blu-rays a month. But if you're interested in collecting and you enjoy having physicals, then yeah, physical will always be around, and it's just nice to have certain movies in your collection if you can't find them anywhere for free. But yeah, thanks for watching, and as always, stay cool, stay weird, stay you, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.